Hey, converted man here. Would you rather be alone in the woods with a bear or a man? This question was asked of several people, and then the result was put on TikTok and, well, YouTube and such. And it became a viral thing, and so people are talking about it. But my thing is logic. So I'm going to address the bad logic here. But first, here's the thing. Yeah, they're at there's different ones. There's different mixes of it. I don't know where the original is. Some of these are just actually bears fighting people and such. Um, you know, so at any rate, the question is asked about 4 or 5. Let's see.
Definitely.
Um, let's see if I can mute this. All right. Let's see. One, two, 3. How many people here? I want to say about 5. I think it was. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, let's say 5, 6. Yeah. 6, 10 people. Less than that. Whatever. Okay. Not that many people are asked. All right. So that's the first. The first thing to take note of is how many people were surveyed, because this is being presented as a pseudo survey. It is not a real survey. There are not enough people asked this question. Where these people are from, it seems like they're all in different cities when they're asked this. So you are not asking people that are on farmers or ranch hands or in the country or in small towns. You are not asking people from across the United States or the West. You're selecting them. Also of note, the ages. These are people in their 20s or 30s. You're not asking older women. You're not asking uh, young kids, uh, and you're only asking women. Um, wouldn't it be fair to ask men as well? But okay, fine. You want to select only women to ask, and this is the only question you're going to ask them. So you have a selectionary bias here going on. So you've selected who you're going to ask. You're only going to ask people between the ages of 18 to 40. Only in city or rural city areas. And of course, you're going to edit it all down because it's TikTok. You only have a few minutes to put it out. You don't have a long time. But of course, you were editing it. So if there were a number of people that said, I picked the man, you can edit that out. You can decide that you're only going to show one person out of you asked 11 people, one person out of those 11 said man, all the other people, all 10 people said bear, as if this is an indication of how a bigger, broader society thinks. We don't know. We don't know that a large selection of women actually would answer this question in this way. All we know is that these people were answering the question you asked after you edited your video. So we don't really know anything. That's the bad logic going on here. The danger of the social phenomenon that is TikTok, YouTube, etc., and perhaps the smaller time period that you're uploading with TikToks and all those things is somewhat a problem as well. But people, especially younger people, just believe what they watch, believe what they listen to, and oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, this thing is really viral. Oh yeah, men are bear. Oh yeah, bear definitely. Can't trust men, and so they see it and then they believe the narrative without much thought. They're not actually thinking, and then post hoc they'll rationalize the answer to the question. But they haven't looked at the problem with the question, the problem with the poll, the problem with this survey. This is not an actual survey. This is not a proper poll. This is not a proper representation of women in the Western world or in general. Because your sample size is small, because you've biased your sample size, and of course, you have a limited time to present it, and you very well may have edited it in such a way to show what seems to be in favor of your side. And of course, for all we know, these could all be actors that you paid. So why believe it then? You shouldn't. You should be completely skeptical of things like this. But what about the question itself? Well, anyone that picks bear, I would think, has had no interaction with real bears, or seen a bear, or gone to no, I don't want to be near a bear, or a rattlesnake for that matter, or any, you know, wildlife is dangerous. Humans can be dangerous. But humans can be dealt with. They can be reasoned with. They can be, we could do something about them. Is it worth a discussion? Is this opening up a discussion between people? It probably will and has. I'm not interested in that aspect as much as I am in the bad polling on display here. But these things happen. And, well, I guess they're going to continue to happen. I don't think that people are thinking these questions through in any critical manner. And I do think that the people being asked are, well, it's predictable what the results are. So ask more people. If you really wanted an answer to this question, you'd ask a wide variety of women from across the country, across the world. The more, the better. But you wouldn't want to ask just a single question because it's going to cost you a lot of money to conduct a survey. You're going to want to ask many questions because part of a proper poll is to ask questions in different ways. And it seems like I just answered that question. Yes, you probably did. And that's the point. The point is to gauge your answer to the question. And there's usually a question that they're actually trying to find out about. And they have to kind of hide that because if you think that you know what they want you to say, or you can, you might bias your own questions or answers rather. So you have to be very careful when constructing a proper poll. A survey is very difficult to get done correctly and then to get any sort of, there's always a margin of error, but you want a large data sample of at least, 10,000 people would be good. 2,000 people would be something, but it wouldn't be as good, so that's what needs to be done. If you want to ask a question of people, great, you're going to have to ask multiple questions. If we're going to do this, okay, let's do it. All right, ask that question, but have it be, would you rather be alone in the woods with a bear or a woman? How about a bear or a trans man or a trans woman? Let's see if that affects things. How about bear versus a homosexual man, or a known serial killer woman. Let's change it up a bit and see how the results differ. And if that will tell us more about the underlying situation, if there is one, than a single question ever could. But that's never going to appear on social media and get super popular because it's a lengthy questionnaire. You can't film it, or if you did, it would be kind of boring, so you can't edit it down. And then you also want to not bias your questions. So you're gonna, and that's why you have to ask multiple questions. And also, it might change depending on who's asking the question. Have it be a man asking the question. Have it be a woman asking the question. So most surveys they're done on paper. Why? Well, that's the traditional way, and they're not done just person on the street interviews. There might be a reason for that that goes beyond just surface level tradition. There might be a good reason why it's easier to get results from sending out questionnaires on physical paper than in person. I mean, people don't want to be bothered at their homes, certainly. Now, some people will be open to talking and some won't. Some will be open to talking on camera and some won't. That changes results as well. So, again, if you want to be very disciplined in your gathering of data because you're interested in finding out people's opinions, then you're wanting to do a multiple step survey. Fine, send out people with cameras, video cameras, to ask the question. That's fine, but do that across, different areas of the United States or the West or Europe or wherever you are. Then also send out questionnaires via mail, email, or what have you. Have them be online. Hey, look, everyone, take my answer to this survey, kind of thing. That's how you get accurate data. That's how you get actual information. But if you're trying to do something to drive an agenda or make a point about things, then you can pretend to have done a real study, a real survey. And that's what this is. It's pseudoscience. Be very skeptical of its conclusions.